Namaste, everyone. So I'm just learning to do live feeds through Facebook, and I thought I would take this opportunity as my first go at it to discuss something actually that I'm going to be doing Monday, and something which is of great import. So I'm really honored that the Prison Phoenix Trust has asked me to speak at their annual event, and it's given me a real inside appreciation for the importance of yoga within the prison system. I think many of us are aware that the prison system is somewhat broken, that there are issues with rehabilitation. What I didn't know, though, was not only are there more prisoners and less staff, rehabilitation systems being cut, but I was unaware of the level of mental health issues present in the prison population. Here's an alarming statistic. 57% of women within the prison population have experienced emotional, physical, and sexual childhood abuse, and 27% of men. That's huge. And incidents of suicide are almost 12 times higher in prisoners than they are in the regular population. And that is because there is such a huge proportion of individuals with mental health problems. And although certainly there are people who engage in violent and nonviolent crime that do not have mental health problems, it is quite surprising and alarming to find out that actually a vast majority have had that in conjunction with often drug abuse because they haven't been able to deal with their issues, coming from lower socioeconomic parts of society, so they haven't had opportunity or access to services. And we also know neurologically, I looked up a really interesting study from 2007 by Mobbs et al., which finds that prisoners have less activity and thinner prefrontal cortical volume. And the prefrontal cortex allows us to make clearer, better executive decisions, to reduce levels of threat, of fear, and aggression. And if you take all those things together, smaller prefrontal cortexes, mental health problems which go with that, coming often from poorer communities, no coping skills, and drug abuse as a form of self-medicating and coping. In fact, 66% of the women in UK prisons arrived there committing a crime in order to get drugs. What you see is quite a broken system where, although, yes, behaviors may have been really, really awful, and I'm not suggesting that punishment doesn't have a place, but the development of human beings through yoga, I think, can both help these individuals who have fallen through the cracks of society over and over and over and over, and eventually given to a path of aggression and crime. And also, upon returning to society, it's also shown them where there is a shift in worldview and a sense of purpose. Like, for example, this person realizes, I went down this path and these treacherous roads, and in so doing I learned something else and I can help another person. Prevents reoffending and allows these people to become essential, useful members of society. And as I did my research, I saw how yoga could really meet the needs of the prison population by reducing some of their mental health issues, for which yoga is well known to do. And if you look at this page, it's just rife with research there. By enhancing pro-social behaviors, and that actually emerges naturally when you start to enhance the functioning of the nervous system. For example, when you enhance the tone of the vagus nerve, the main nerve of the parasympathetic autonomic nervous system, which yogic breathing and yoga practice do, and also a shift in worldview, which emerges both through the philosophy of yoga and the changes that are taking place within your mind and body, and in a collective group of people where safety may emerge for the first time in one's life. So I'm very much honored to be a part of this event on Monday. And also, I hope that many of you go check out the Yoga Phoenix Trust, because I think it has so much to offer society, and I am a big proponent of yoga being delivered to groups of people that are on the fringes of society that need it most. It's wonderful that it's in studios and that many people, that have money can afford it and go to foofy classes. And I like to do that sometimes too. But also, the yoga ethos is about unification, taking care of society, kindness, ahimsa, and I think the greatest form of ahimsa, nonviolence, is to help those who are struggling and suffering to learn these tools. So just a thought, look up this charity. Consider maybe using yoga to work in your local prison. They have a training program. And also at the Minded Institute, we've had a bunch of people who have either worked in prisons or gone to work in prisons off the back of our teacher training and yoga therapy training courses, though we don't specialize in this by any means. It's really them. I wish you a pleasant evening, and to be grateful for the health, well-being, and social support of whatever form you have around you. Namaste.